I escaped the palace to avoid becoming emperor, only to overhear my own brother confess that he planned the ambush that nearly killed our father. And the worst part? The 4 husbands who once abandoned me still couldn't believe their precious second prince was a traitor. So while they secretly investigated him, I smiled, ate expensive food, pretended everything was fine, and waited for the exact moment I could cut his head off in front of the entire empire. Xunli escaped the palace at midnight wearing stolen servant robes, carrying 3 bags of pastries and absolutely no dignity. Behind him echoed chaos. Search the eastern wall. He went that way. Your Highness, please stop jumping off buildings. Xunli sprinted across rooftops while internally questioning every life decision that led him here. An assassin across 2 worlds. Feared by armies. Reduced to fleeing from 4 emotionally unstable husbands with breeding intentions. Human civilization truly was embarrassing. By dawn, Xunli reached a small border city near the western trade routes. Perfect. Far from the capital. Far from ministers. Far from succession ceremonies. Most importantly, far from husbands who stared at him like starving predators discovering prey could wear silk. The tiny inn he rented smelled faintly of old wood and noodles. Beautiful. Peaceful. Cheap. Xunli nearly cried from happiness. This, he declared dramatically while collapsing onto the bed, is freedom. The innkeeper stared nervously at the suspiciously beautiful servant. Reasonable reaction, honestly. 3 days passed peacefully. Xunli ate street food, gambled with merchants, slept until noon. Nobody screamed about heirs. Nobody mentioned imperial politics. Nobody tried cornering him against walls while asking deeply concerning questions like, if we conceived children, whose beast traits would appear first? Luo Feng asked that with terrifying sincerity. Xunli still wanted compensation for emotional damages. Tonight, rain hammered softly against the inn windows while Xunli sat downstairs eating beef noodles beside the fire. A traveling storyteller loudly described recent battlefield rumors. They say the 3rd prince slaughtered enemy commanders alone. Another man scoffed. Impossible. He's an Omega hamster. The storyteller pointed dramatically. Then explain why enemy soldiers surrendered crying. Xunli lowered his bowl slightly. Honestly, propaganda spread fast. One child nearby whispered fearfully. My uncle said the prince smiles during war. Xunli resumed eating. Children truly absorbed traumatic information efficiently. A sudden scent interrupted his thoughts. Sweet lotus flowers. Healing herbs. Xunli froze instantly. Lin Su. His eyes sharpened automatically. Slowly, carefully, Xunli leaned backward into the shadows near the staircase. A moment later, Second Prince Lin Su entered the inn wearing plain traveling robes. 2 unfamiliar men followed him. Xunli immediately recognized military posture. Not imperial soldiers. Foreign. Interesting. Very interesting. Lin Su smiled gently toward the innkeeper. We only require a private room briefly. The innkeeper nodded nervously and led them upstairs. Xunli watched silently, then sighed deeply. Well, he muttered, this feels illegal already. Curiosity ruined lives. Unfortunately, Xunli possessed too much of it. 5 minutes later, he crouched silently outside the 2nd-floor room, using old assassination habits he really should not still have. Inside, voices echoed faintly. The emperor survived unexpectedly. A man's rough voice. Foreign accent. Another voice answered quietly. Lin Su. Xunli interfered. Silence followed. Then, we were promised imperial instability. You will still receive it, Lin Su said coldly. Coldly. Not softly. Not kindly. The gentle prince's mask vanished completely. Xunli's eyes darkened. Inside the room, another man spoke. The enemy emperor grows impatient. Your father still lives. Father. Not his majesty. Interesting. Lin Su laughed quietly. He won't survive forever. For one dangerous second, Xunli stopped breathing. Then Lin Su continued calmly. The battlefield ambush already weakened him politically. Once the Western nobles move, the throne becomes vulnerable. Every instinct inside Xunli turned murderous instantly. The ambush. His father nearly dying. Thousands dead. all arranged by this smiling little snake. Shun Li's hands slowly tightened around the hidden dagger beneath his sleeve. Kill him now. Easy. Quick. One strike through the throat. Problem solved. But footsteps suddenly thundered downstairs. Shun Li stiffened. A familiar, aggressive voice roared. Search every room. No. Absolutely not. Luo Feng. Of course the wolf found him first. Because apparently peace was illegal. The inn exploded into panic. Customers screamed. Furniture crashed. Shun Li closed his eyes briefly. I hate my life. Inside the room above, Lin Su immediately fell silent. The foreign men cursed softly. Meanwhile, downstairs another voice spoke calmly. He's here. Hey Yuan. Wonderful. Entire husband committee assembled. Shun Li barely suppressed the urge to jump out the nearest window. Too late. The hallway floor creaked behind him. Hu Zhen smiled lazily while leaning against the corridor wall. Long dark red hair. Beautiful fox eyes. Absolutely unbearable expression. There you are. Shun Li pointed immediately. If you tell anyone where I am, I'll poison your tea. Hu Zhen looked delighted. You missed us. I would rather wrestle wild bears. Romantic. Bastard fox. Another door opened nearby. Bai Chun stepped into the hallway. Silver-white hair loose around his shoulders. Calm jade eyes immediately scanning Shun Li for injuries first. Then soft relief crossed his face. Problematic. Very problematic. Luo Feng stormed upstairs seconds later. The wolf general froze after spotting Shun Li alive. Then immediately looked furious. You vanished for 6 days. Shun Li looked offended. I left a note. You wrote, do not follow me. I crave financial freedom and emotional silence. A masterpiece, honestly. Luo Feng looked one heartbeat away from either hugging him or strangling him. Possibly both. Meanwhile, He Yuan finally arrived upstairs. The Black Panther general stopped walking the second his eyes landed on Shun Li. Silence settled briefly. Dangerous silence. Because He Yuan looked tired. Not angry. Not cold. Just relieved. Which somehow felt worse. Shun Li cleared his throat awkwardly. So, funny story. All 4 men stared. Shun Li pointed toward the private room behind him. Lin Su is inside meeting foreign spies. Dead silence. Hu Zhen's smile disappeared instantly. Luo Feng frowned sharply. He Yuan's eyes darkened. Bai Qin spoke first. What? I heard everything. Shun Li's voice lowered. The battlefield ambush was arranged intentionally. Shock crossed every face immediately. Because deep down, none of them fully trusted the ambush anymore. Too many strange tactical errors. Too many convenient failures. Too many deaths. Luo Feng looked grim. Are you certain? Yes. Did you see evidence? No. Annoying detail. Inside the room above, sudden movement sounded. The spies were escaping. He Yuan reacted instantly. Seal the exits. The generals moved immediately. Chaos exploded across the inn. Customers screamed. Windows shattered. One foreign spy jumped directly through the second-floor balcony before disappearing into the storm outside. Another died beneath Luo Feng's sword downstairs. But when He Yuan kicked open the private room, Lin Su stood alone inside. Pale. Shaking. Perfectly frightened. No, Lin Su whispered weakly. What's happening? Shun Li stared blankly. Honestly? Award-winning performance. If Shun Li had not heard the conversation personally, even he might have doubted himself. Luo Feng hesitated visibly. Bai Chun frowned deeply. And Shun Li realized immediately. They believed him. But they also did not want to believe Lin Su capable of this. Human emotions truly complicated murder unnecessarily. Lin Su slowly turned toward Shun Li with trembling eyes. Third brother, his voice cracked softly. Why would you accuse me? Professional liar. Absolutely professional. Shun Li felt violent impulses immediately. Hu Zhen suddenly stepped beside him quietly. The Fox advisor's voice lowered enough only Shun Li could hear. We'll investigate secretly. Shun Li remained silent, then nodded once. Because he understood. No proof meant no execution. And if he killed Lin Su now, Emperor Lin would suffer most. For the first time in both lives, Shenli swallowed his violence for someone else's sake. Frankly disgusting emotional growth. Outside, thunder shook the skies violently. And somewhere deep beneath Lin Su's terrified act, the second prince realized something dangerous. The monster he once manipulated freely had finally turned against him. The investigation began quietly, which, unfortunately, meant Shenli became professionally stalked. Again. At first, he thought the four husbands simply increased security around him because of Lin Su's possible betrayal. Reasonable. Then Luo Feng punched a nobleman for smiling too long at Shenli during lunch. And suddenly the situation felt less reasonable. You threatened him with military execution, Shenli said flatly. Luo Feng looked unapologetic. He called you beautiful. I am beautiful. That wasn't the point. Human males truly invented emotional instability as a lifestyle. Currently, Shenli sat inside a private pavilion overlooking the imperial lotus gardens while aggressively eating steamed buns. Returning to the palace after the incident had been unavoidable, He Yuan insisted it was unsafe. Bai Chen quietly threatened to sedate him if he escaped again. Hu Zhen manipulated the emperor into assigning temporary marital supervision. And Luo Feng physically carried Shenli back onto a carriage after Shenli attempted to flee through a market alley. Humiliating experience, honestly. Now the palace atmosphere had changed completely. Everyone watched Lin Su carefully. Nobody openly accused him. But suspicion existed now. Tiny. Dangerous. Meanwhile, Shenli had become the empire's favorite topic again. Unfortunately, for entirely different reasons. Servants whispered constantly. The generals fought over who should escort His Highness today. Lord Baichen personally prepared dessert for him. Advisor Hu Jin threatened 3 ministers who discussed political marriage proposals. The emperor already started redesigning the crown prince palace. Shenli wanted death. Peaceful death preferably. Across from him, He Yuan read intelligence reports silently. The Black Panther general had barely left Shenli's side lately. At first Shenli assumed military caution. Then last night He Yuan calmly murdered a man's career during court because the minister suggested Shenli still lacked proper Omega softness. So perhaps emotions were involved now. Disturbing thought. You're staring again, Shenli said while chewing. He Yuan didn't look up. You disappeared once already. I went on vacation. You vanished without guards. I'm highly independent. You got kidnapped twice before transmigrating into sanity. Shenli blinked. That sentence feels insulting. Good. Rude panther. A servant suddenly entered the pavilion nervously. Your Highness. Second Prince Lin Su requests tea together. Silence. He Yuan's expression darkened instantly. Shenli sighed deeply. There it is. Daily psychological warfare. Wonderful. 20 minutes later, Shenli sat across from Lin Su inside the Eastern Tea Garden. Beautiful scenery. Terrible company. Lin Su wore pale blue robes today. Soft blonde hair tied elegantly. Gentle smile flawless as always. Professional manipulator packaging honestly deserved respect. Third brother, Lin Su said softly. I worried after the misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. Right. Shenli stirred his tea calmly. You recover emotionally very fast considering your foreign spy friends jump through windows. Lin Su's smile flickered slightly. Tiny victory. The second prince lowered his eyes sadly. You still suspect me. I suspect everyone. Humanity has terrible statistics. Lin Su laughed softly. Once upon a time that laugh charmed entire courts. Now Shenli mostly imagined stabbing noises afterward. Third brother changed greatly after the drowning incident. You've mentioned that before. You no longer become emotional around me. Shenli nearly snorted into his tea. Brother, you tried killing father. I moved beyond emotional. I entered professionally homicidal. But externally he only smiled lazily. Personal growth. Lin Su's gaze sharpened quietly. You also changed around your husbands. Ah, there it was. Jealousy. The second prince noticed their shifting attention already. Good. Suffer. Lin Su leaned slightly forward. Do you truly believe they love you now? Shenli looked thoughtful. No. Lin Su blinked unexpectedly. No. I think they're emotionally confused after battlefield trauma. The silence afterward felt deeply offensive somehow. Lin Su stared, because Shunli sounded genuinely unconcerned. No possessiveness. No obsession. Nothing. Meanwhile, Shunli honestly meant it. The four husbands clearly felt something now. Unfortunately, it resembled territorial insanity more than romance. Especially Luo Feng. Yesterday, the wolf general nearly started a duel because another noble Omega complimented Shunli's hair. Actual barbarian behavior. Lin Su's fingers tightened around his teacup subtly. You really don't care anymore. No. The answer came instantly. And somehow that hurt Lin Su more than anger ever had. Before the conversation could continue, footsteps echoed nearby. Luo Feng arrived first carrying training weapons. Naturally, the man approached emotional situations like military invasions. There you are. Shunli looked suspicious immediately. Why are you holding swords? Combat practice. No. You skipped yesterday. I skip responsibilities spiritually. Luo Feng ignored him completely, then noticed Lin Su sitting nearby. The wolf paused awkwardly. Once upon a time, he would immediately soften around the second prince. Today his eyes only flicked briefly toward him before returning to Shunli. Tiny crack. But Lin Su noticed, and hatred flashed briefly behind his smile. Interesting. Very interesting. General Luo, Lin Su said softly. You seem busy lately. Luo Feng frowned slightly. Military matters. Not even a proper answer. Shunli almost applauded. Lin Su noticed too. The second prince's smile grew thinner. How unfortunate. We rarely spend time together now. Luo Feng finally looked uncomfortable. Because once, Lin Su truly had been important to him. Not romantically, perhaps, but emotionally. Now everything felt wrong. Because every investigation uncovered uglier truths surrounding the ambush. And every day Shunli looked more trustworthy, more real, more terrifyingly honest. Meanwhile, Lin Su felt increasingly artificial beside him. Shunli suddenly stood. Actually, I changed my mind. Luo Feng blinked. About training? No. About violence. Both men stared. Shunli smiled pleasantly toward Lin Su. If another assassin attacks father mysteriously, I'm killing everyone involved personally. Silence crashed instantly. Lin Su's face paled slightly. Luo Feng frowned sharply. Yuza. What? Shunli looked innocent. I'm expressing healthy family concern. Terrifying family concern. The second prince slowly rose from his seat. His voice remained gentle. You truly think I would hurt father? Shunli looked directly into his eyes this time. And Lin Su felt cold immediately. Because beneath Shunli's lazy smile, something monstrous stared back. You already did, Shunli said softly. No accusation. No yelling. Just certainty. Lin Su's composure cracked for half a second. Enough. Shunli saw it clearly. Hatred. Raw. Violent. Obsessive. Then the mask returned instantly. But too late. Interesting. Very interesting. Lin Su left shortly afterward. Graceful. Elegant. Controlled. The moment he disappeared fully, Luo Feng exhaled heavily. You really believe he arranged the ambush? Yes. Even without evidence? Shunli looked toward the gardens quietly. I know what killers look like. Luo Feng froze. The sentence carried too much weight. Too much experience. Then Shunli ruined the atmosphere instantly. Anyway, if I must suffer combat training, I demand expensive desserts afterward. Luo Feng stared blankly. How do you switch emotions so quickly? Survival mechanism. Honestly true. 2 hours later, Shunli regretted existing. Because Luo Feng's idea of light combat practice resembled attempted murder. Again, the wolf ordered. Shunli held the practice spear lazily. No. You blocked 3 attacks correctly already. That was accidental talent. You disarmed me. Luck. You kicked me through a wall. Shunli paused thoughtfully. Okay, that one felt satisfying. Luo Feng suddenly laughed. Actually laughed. Deep. Wild. Real. The sound startled both of them briefly. Because Shunli realized something uncomfortable. Luo Feng looked happiest while fighting beside him. Not arguing. Not being chased romantically. Not emotionally manipulated. just existing naturally together. Dangerous realization. Meanwhile, nearby, He Yuan watched silently from the training grounds. Beside him stood Bai Chun. The white snake pharmacist's expression remained unreadable. He smiles differently now, Bai Chun murmured. He Yuan's gaze stayed fixed on Shunli. Below them, Shunli knocked Luo Feng flat onto the ground again before immediately stealing the wolf's water flask and drinking from it triumphantly. Like a victorious criminal. He Yuan answered quietly. And for the first time since their forced marriage, the Black Panther general realized something terrifying. He genuinely wanted to keep watching Shunli laugh forever. Shunli realized something deeply disturbing 3 weeks into the investigation. His husbands had become clingy. Not emotionally healthy clingy either. The dangerous kind. The territorial apex predator kind. This morning alone, He Yuan canceled an entire military meeting because Shunli casually mentioned wanting breakfast together. Luo Feng threatened a visiting duke for calling Shunli delicate. Bai Chun quietly replaced all palace servants handling Shunli's meals after discovering one flirted harmlessly. And Hu Jun weaponized bureaucracy, which honestly felt more terrifying than physical violence. Shunli sat in the imperial garden feeding fish aggressively while contemplating escape routes again. This is becoming harassment, he announced. Beside him, Hu Jun smiled beautifully while pouring tea. You're overreacting. Yesterday Luo Feng asked which husband I preferred genetically. Hu Jun looked thoughtful. A reasonable discussion. A criminal discussion. Foxes truly belonged in forests away from civilization. The advisor calmly offered him tea. Shunli accepted automatically. Then paused. Did you poison this? Hu Jun looked offended. You wound me. That is not a no. The fox laughed softly. Exactly the sound villains made before disasters. Across the garden courtyard, Luo Feng currently argued with Bai Chun. Again, the wolf bloodline is physically strongest, Luo Feng growled. Bai Chun looked unimpressed. Congratulations on discovering muscles. Children born from my line would dominate battlefields. Children born from your line would probably eat furniture. Shunli nearly inhaled tea into his lungs. No, absolutely not. They were discussing future children again. In public, He Yuan arrived moments later still wearing black military robes from court. Golden eyes immediately finding Shunli first. Always first now. Problematic behavior. The Black Panther sat beside him naturally. Too naturally. As though this arrangement had existed forever. Shunli noticed things lately. Tiny things. He Yuan adjusting sunlight screens so Shunli could nap comfortably. Bai Chun remembering every food preference. Luo Feng instinctively moving between Shunli and potential danger. Hu Jun manipulating entire court schedules to give Shunli free time. It felt warm, which was honestly horrifying. Shunli preferred battlefields. Battlefields made sense. Feelings did not. A servant suddenly approached nervously. Your Highness, Second Prince requests your presence at tonight's moon banquet. The atmosphere changed instantly. Cold. Sharp. Hu Jun's smile faded slightly. He Yuan frowned. Luo Feng outright snarled from across the courtyard. Even Bai Chen's expression darkened. Interesting. Nobody trusted Lin Su anymore. Not completely. Still not enough evidence. But enough instinct. Shunli sighed dramatically. Fine. If he poisons me tonight, at least the food should be expensive. He Yuan spoke immediately. You're not attending alone. General, if 5 people escort me to dinner, it becomes a hostage negotiation. I don't care. Romantic. Terrifyingly romantic. That evening, the Imperial Moon banquet glittered with music, lanterns, and political lies. Nobles filled the enormous hall laughing too loudly, while secretly calculating each other's deaths. Classic aristocracy. Shunli arrived wearing dark crimson robes embroidered with gold threads. The entire hall went silent briefly. Because unfortunately, he looked beautiful. Soft dark brown hair tied loosely. Amber eyes lazy and sharp simultaneously. Danger wrapped in silk. And beside him walked all 4 husbands. Like heavily armed emotional support disasters. Nobles immediately began whispering. The generals haven't left his side all month. They nearly executed a minister last week. Advisor Hu Zhen rejected 6 marriage proposals already. The emperor truly intends to crown him. Xinli wanted exile. Peaceful anonymous exile. At the center of the hall, Lin Su sat beside Emperor Lin when smiling gently. Perfectly composed. Perfectly kind. Professional snake. Third brother, Lin Su greeted warmly. You look well tonight. Xinli smiled lazily. So do you. Very alive. A dangerous pause followed. The emperor immediately coughed loudly. Wonderful family atmosphere. Traitor father. The banquet continued awkwardly. Music played. Wine poured. Political alliances shifted quietly beneath fake smiles. And throughout all of it, Lin Su watched Xinli constantly. Because Xinli changed everything without trying. The generals used to look toward Lin Su naturally. Protectively. Now every instinct they possessed revolved around Xinli instead. He Yuan's gaze followed Xinli unconsciously whenever he moved. Luo Feng physically blocked servants carrying hot dishes near him. Bai Chen monitored Xun Li's wine personally. And Hu Zhen? The fox simply watched Xun Li with dangerous amusement all evening. Lin Su hated it. Hated all of it. Especially because Xun Li himself barely noticed. The monster truly remained oblivious. Eventually the emperor requested music performances. Several noble Omegas stepped forward elegantly. One young Omega performed a dance while smiling shyly toward He Yuan. The Black Panther general didn't even notice. His attention remained entirely fixed on Xun Li eating fruit beside the throne. Lin Su's fingers tightened slowly beneath the table. Crack. His wine cup fractured slightly. Tiny sound. But Xun Li heard it instantly. Their eyes met across the hall. And for the first time, Lin Su looked openly angry. Not gentle. Not kind. Furious. Interesting. Very interesting. Later that night, Xun Li stepped briefly onto the moon terrace alone for air. Huge mistake apparently. Because moments later, Lin Su followed him outside. The warm smile vanished immediately once the doors shut behind them. There's something deeply wrong with you now, Lin Su said coldly. Xun Li leaned lazily against the railing. Took you long enough. You ruined everything. Strong accusation from someone funding assassination attempts. Lin Su's composure cracked instantly. Do you think anyone would believe you? He hissed. Ah, there he was. The real prince beneath the mask. Xun Li smiled faintly. No. The answer startled Lin Su briefly. Then why continue this? Xun Li's amber eyes darkened slightly. Because eventually people like you get arrogant. Silence. Then Xun Li continued softly. And arrogant people always make mistakes. Lin Su stared at him. Really stared. For the first time in years. The second prince felt fear. Because Xun Li no longer acted emotionally. No obsession. No jealousy. No desperation. Only patience. Cold, terrifying patience. Lin Su stepped closer suddenly. You think they love you now? Xun Li sighed. Why is everyone obsessed with this topic? They used to belong beside me. Ah, there it was. Not love. Possession. Lin Su's voice sharpened violently. They looked at me first. Congratulations. They protected me first. Xun Li blinked slowly. Then finally understood something horrifying. Lin Su never wanted the 4 men romantically. He simply couldn't tolerate losing attention. The realization felt so pathetic Xun Li almost laughed. You arranged a war because of jealousy? Xun Li asked incredulously. Lin Su's expression twisted. You know nothing. I know father loved you. He loved you more. The second prince's voice cracked violently now. Even powerless, useless, weak little you, he still chose you first. Ah, there it was. The rotten core. Not ambition. Not politics. Just a lonely child drowning in resentment. For one brief second, Xun Li almost pitied him. Then Lin Su spoke again. If father died that day, everything would have belonged to me already. Pity vanished instantly. Cold, murderous silence filled the terrace. Lin Su realized too late what he admitted. Xun Li's expression changed completely. No humor. No laziness. Death itself looked back at him quietly. You should run, Xun Li said softly. Fear struck Lin Su immediately. Real fear. because the killing intent surrounding Shunli suddenly felt suffocating. The terrace doors burst open violently. He Yuan entered first. Then Luo Feng. All four husbands followed seconds later. And every single one froze instantly, because Shunli stood perfectly still beneath moonlight, looking at Lin Su like a corpse already waiting to happen. The moon terrace fell into deadly silence. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Because Shunli looked terrifying. Not angry. Not emotional. Worse. Calm. The kind of calm people only achieved after deciding someone would die. Lin Su stepped backward instinctively. For the first time in his life, genuine fear crawled up his spine. Because Shunli's eyes no longer looked human. They looked like battlefields. He Yuan noticed immediately. The Black Panther general moved first. Not toward Lin Su. Toward Shunli. Slowly. Carefully. Like approaching a wounded predator. Yuza, He Yuan said quietly. Shunli did not answer. Across the terrace, Luo Feng frowned sharply. What happened? Nobody spoke. Then Lin Su suddenly stumbled backward dramatically, eyes reddening instantly. Award-winning performance returned at lightning speed. Third brother, Lin Su whispered shakily. Why are you looking at me like that? Shunli almost admired the professionalism. Almost. Hu Zhen's fox eyes narrowed. Bai Chen remained utterly still. Both of them sensed it. Something important just happened before they arrived. Lin Su's breathing became uneven. I only wanted to apologize. Liar. Professional little liar. Shunli smiled faintly. And somehow that terrified everyone more. Second brother, Shunli said softly. You should speak less tonight. Lin Su froze. Because beneath the softness, the threat felt real. Very real. The emperor suddenly arrived onto the terrace with several ministers behind him. Wonderful. Entire audience assembled now. What is going on? Emperor Lin Wen demanded. Nobody answered immediately. Then Lin Su lowered his head weakly. Father, perhaps third brother still misunderstands me regarding the ambush. Perfect. Gentle. Broken. Manipulative enough to deserve imprisonment. Several ministers exchanged uncertain looks. The emperor frowned deeply toward Shunli. Yuza. Shunli finally looked away from Lin Su. The killing intent vanished instantly. Like a curtain dropping. I'm tired, Shunli said calmly. Then he walked past everyone and left the terrace. Just like that, the four husbands exchanged sharp looks immediately before following him. None of them noticed Lin Su quietly trembling afterward. Not from sadness. From fear. Because Shunli had truly meant it. If they had arrived moments later, Lin Su genuinely believed Shunli would have killed him right there beneath the moonlight. And somehow, that terrified him less than the thought of Shunli no longer caring emotionally at all. Meanwhile, Shunli walked through dark palace corridors trying very hard not to commit murder tonight. Personal growth truly exhausted him. Footsteps followed behind. Obviously. They're all insane, Shunli muttered. He Yuan caught his wrist gently this time. Not forcefully. Carefully. The difference felt dangerous. Talk to us, the Black Panther said quietly. Shunli stopped walking. Then sighed. Lin Su admitted it. Silence crashed instantly. Luo Feng's voice lowered dangerously. What? He admitted wanting father dead. Bai Chen's expression chilled immediately. Hu Zhen's smile disappeared entirely. Only He Yuan remained still. What exactly did he say? The general asked. Shunli repeated the conversation word for word. Every sentence. Every crack in Lin Su's composure. Every poisonous confession. When he finished speaking, silence lingered heavily. Luo Feng punched the stone wall hard enough to crack it. That bastard. Quiet, Bai Chen snapped sharply. Walls have ears. Hu Zhen looked thoughtful now. Dangerously thoughtful. He slipped emotionally, the fox murmured. That means pressure is working. Shunli leaned tiredly against the corridor pillar. No evidence still. There will be. He Yuan's voice turned cold. We're close. And for the first time since this began, Shunli believed them fully. Because they no longer protected Lin Su instinctively. Now they looked at him like men realizing they once trusted a snake beside their throats. 3 days later, the first evidence appeared. Then another. Then another. secret Western noble communications, enemy trade payments hidden through border merchants, military route leaks, assassinated scouts connected quietly to Lin Su's personal servants. The investigation snowballed violently, and with every discovery, the palace atmosphere became colder. Servants stopped smiling around the second prince. Ministers whispered. Guards watched more carefully. Lin Su noticed all of it, naturally, which meant he became more desperate, and desperate people made mistakes. Currently, Shunli sat peacefully inside the royal library reading military records while eating plum candy. Peak existence, honestly. Then Lin Su stormed inside. Actually stormed. No gentle mask. No elegant softness. Just fury. Progress. You did this, Lin Su hissed. Shunli looked up lazily. You'll need specificity. My enemies list feels extensive. You turned them against me. No, Shunli popped candy into his mouth. Your personality did that. Lin Su's breathing shook violently. They loved me first. There it is again. Shunli sighed. You keep talking about people like stolen property. You stole everything. Interesting. Shunli tilted his head slowly. The throne. My father. He's literally your father too. He never looked at me the same way. For one brief second, Lin Su looked heartbreakingly young. Not evil. Just wounded. A lonely child buried beneath obsession. Then Shunli remembered battlefields full of corpses. Pity vanished again. You arranged a massacre because you felt unloved, Shunli said flatly. That's pathetic. Lin Su snapped. Healing power exploded violently through the library. Shelves shattered. Books flew across the room. Shunli dodged instantly. Too fast. Too smooth. Lin Su froze. Because normal Omegas did not move like that. The second prince stared at Shunli in horror. You really are a monster now. Shunli straightened calmly amid flying paper. No, he answered softly. I just stopped pretending to be harmless. The library doors burst open. He Yuan entered first with soldiers behind him. And unfortunately for Lin Su, the Black Panther general heard enough. Dead silence followed. Lin Su slowly turned pale. He Yuan's golden eyes looked colder than Shunli had ever seen before. Second Prince Lin Su, He Yuan said quietly. The room itself seemed to tense. You are under imperial investigation for treason against the crown. Lin Su staggered backward. No. More soldiers entered. Luo Feng, Bai Chun, Hu Zhen, and behind all of them, Emperor Lin Wen himself. The emperor looked exhausted. Heartbroken. Old. Lin Su stared at him desperately. Father. The emperor's voice shook slightly. Why? That single word destroyed the room completely. Because beneath all the politics, a father still wanted his son to deny everything. Lin Su looked around wildly. At the evidence. At the soldiers. At the husbands no longer protecting him. Then finally at Shunli. Hatred twisted across his face completely. Raw now. Ugly. Honest. You want to know why? Lin Su laughed suddenly. Because you never chose me. The emperor flinched visibly. Lin Su pointed violently toward Shunli. Him. Always him. Sewer. He had no powers. No talent. Nothing. Tears streamed down Lin Su's face now. But you still wanted him more. The emperor closed his eyes briefly. And Shunli realized something awful. This entire tragedy began with two lonely sons misunderstanding love differently. Then Lin Su screamed the final mistake. You should have died with his mother. The room froze. Absolute silence. Then Shunli moved. Fast. Terrifyingly fast. The soldiers barely reacted before Shunli's sword pressed against Lin Su's throat. Cold. Sharp. Fatal. Everyone stopped breathing. Because Shunli looked completely ready to kill him. And this time, nobody doubted he could. The imperial prison smelled like blood and rain. Shunli stood silently before Lin Su's chained figure, while thunder shook the palace outside. The execution chamber remained empty except for a handful of people. Emperor Lin Wen, the four husbands, several royal guards, and the traitor prince kneeling beneath iron chains. Lin Su looked terrible now. No elegant robes. No gentle smile. No perfect mask. Just a broken man staring upward with exhausted hatred. Honestly, Shunli expected to feel satisfaction. Instead, he mostly felt tired. Human emotions were exhausting. The emperor looked older tonight. Pain carved deeply into his face. Not ruler pain. Father pain. The kind impossible to survive cleanly. Lin Su laughed weakly. So this is how it ends. Nobody answered. Rain hammered harder outside. Finally, the emperor spoke quietly. Why sewer? Lin Su's eyes reddened instantly again. But this time, no acting remained. You always loved him more. The emperor flinched visibly. I loved both of you. No, Lin Su's voice cracked violently. You looked at him differently. Shinli stayed silent near the chamber wall. Because deep down, he already knew the answer. Lin Su continued bitterly. He had no powers, no talent, no value, but you still wanted to give him the throne. The emperor closed his eyes briefly. Then something unexpected happened. The old emperor laughed softly. Tired, sad, almost helpless. You foolish child. Lin Su froze. Emperor Lin Wen slowly looked toward Shinli. And for the first time in years, the emperor's gaze carried grief older than war. The throne was never mine to choose freely. Silence filled the chamber. Lin Su frowned. What? The emperor's voice lowered quietly. Shunli's mother was the true heir of the empire. Everyone froze. Even Shunli blinked. Excuse me? The emperor smiled faintly toward him. Your mother descended from the original imperial bloodline. The throne legally belonged to her family long before I became emperor. Lin Su stared blankly. The emperor continued softly. When she died, the succession rights passed naturally to you. Dead silence. Shinli slowly lowered the teacup he had stolen from somewhere earlier. Father, you were always the rightful heir. Lin Su's face twisted violently. No. Yes. The emperor's voice finally hardened. And despite that, I still loved you equally. The second prince shook uncontrollably now. No, that's impossible. You spent your whole life competing against someone who never wanted your place. That sentence shattered the room completely. Because it was true. Shunli genuinely never cared about the throne. He wanted snacks, naps, financial irresponsibility. That was all. Lin Su suddenly laughed. Then laughed harder. Broken. Empty. Then what was the point? He whispered hoarsely. Nobody answered. Because thousands died for nothing. The battlefield. The betrayal. The war. All born from jealousy and loneliness. Humanity truly remained catastrophic. Lin Su slowly lifted his head toward Shinli. Hatred still existed there. But weaker now. Exhausted. Do it. Silence followed. The emperor closed his eyes. Unable to watch. Shinli stepped forward quietly. Sword sliding free with soft metal whispers. The four husbands stiffened immediately. Especially Luo Feng. Because they all recognized that expression now. Battlefield Shinli. The terrifying version. Lin Su stared upward. You really are a monster. Shinli stopped directly before him. Then spoke softly. No. His amber eyes darkened. You created one. And the sword fell. One clean strike. Fast. Merciless. Lin Su's head rolled across the execution floor before the guards even processed movement. Blood splattered silently across stone. Nobody breathed. Because Shunli's face never changed. Not anger. Not satisfaction. Nothing. Just calm. The kind killers carried after long experience. Bai Qin looked away first. Hu Jin exhaled slowly. Luo Feng clenched his fists hard enough to shake. And He Yuan simply watched Shinli quietly, understanding something terrifying. Shinli carried loneliness deeper than any battlefield wound. Later that night, while the palace drowned in funeral preparations and political panic, Shinli disappeared again. Naturally, the Imperial Guards discovered his empty chambers shortly before dawn. A single note remained behind. Temporary vacation. Please do not chase me unless the palace is actively burning. Shinli. Luo Feng crushed the note instantly. He escaped again? Hu Jin looked impressed honestly. The consistency is admirable. Meanwhile, Shinli rode alone across the northern border beneath heavy snowfall. No servants. No guards. No husbands. Peace at last. Except he wasn't fleeing this time. He was hunting, because one problem still remained unfinished. The enemy empire. The foreign emperor who orchestrated war beside Lin Su still lived comfortably. Unacceptable. 3 weeks later, the enemy capital entered absolute chaos. Ministers died mysteriously. Military commanders vanished overnight. Entire noble families were slaughtered silently inside locked estates. Nobody saw the killer clearly. Only bodies remained. And always, a faint scent of blood and sandalwood. The enemy emperor finally panicked too late. By the time assassins surrounded his chambers, Xinli already sat calmly inside drinking expensive wine. The emperor staggered backward in horror. You. Xinli smiled pleasantly. Your political security disappoints me. The emperor reached for weapons. Xinli moved first. One strike. Done. Just like that. Empires truly were fragile things. Months later, Xinli returned home carrying enough blackmail material and severed political alliances to collapse the enemy nation permanently. The imperial court stared at him in collective fear, because Crown Prince Xinli disappeared for 1 month and accidentally conquered another country alone. Honestly embarrassing for them. That same week, Emperor Lin officially abdicated, against Xinli's desperate protests. Father, absolutely not. You already rule the military. I rule nothing. I barely rule my sleep schedule. The people worship you. That sounds unhealthy. Too late. The coronation happened anyway. And thus, Xinli became emperor beneath golden skies while thousands knelt before him. Terrifying moment, honestly. Even worse, his 4 husbands stood beside the throne wearing formal imperial robes, looking unbearably proud. Years passed strangely afterward. The empire flourished. Wars ended. Corrupt nobles disappeared mysteriously whenever Xinli became annoyed. Nobody investigated too deeply. Very healthy survival instinct. And despite all his resistance, Xinli somehow built a family too. A deeply chaotic family. Because his husbands remained insane. Luo Feng still argued constantly about whose child resembled Xinli most. He Yuan became frighteningly overprotective. Bai Chun treated minor fevers like national emergencies. And Hu Jin taught their children manipulation techniques before age 5. Terrible parenting, honestly. One evening, Xinli sat beneath palace lanterns while tiny beast children climbed across his lap, aggressively demanding desserts. The emperor of the most powerful empire in the continent sighed deeply. I used to be feared. A small child with Black Panther ears climbed onto his shoulders proudly. You still are. Another child nodded seriously. Uncle ministers cry when you smile. Xinli looked offended. That feels dramatic. Across the courtyard, his 4 husbands laughed quietly, watching him. Warmly. Softly. Like men who still couldn't believe they nearly lost him once. Xinli noticed their expressions and immediately narrowed his eyes suspiciously. Why are all of you looking at me emotionally again? Hu Jin smiled beautifully. Because you're our husband. Luo Feng added proudly. And the father of our children. Bai Chun calmly delivered the final attack. And unfortunately, we love you. Xinli stared at them silently. Then at the children climbing him like tiny demons. Then at the peaceful empire surrounding him. A strange warmth settled quietly inside his chest. Annoying feeling. Very annoying. Still, not terrible. Which honestly felt like the greatest miracle of all.